Alright, y'all, I'm about to do this super easy. Y'all gonna get tired of me saying super easy, but I'm telling you, super easy, super simple sweet potato pie. And as you can see, all I have is some pumpkin pie spice, some nutmeg, some vanilla, some brown sugar, some ground cinnamon, some evaporated milk that is 2% low fat, some unsalted butter, 2 eggs, and I'm only going to use an egg, 1 egg yolk and 1 egg white to make this pie. And I have my fresh sweet potatoes that I cut last night, and they're boiling. They're going to get nice and soft, excuse me, and tender. And I have a Pet Ritz regular pie crust. I usually use a deep dish pie crust, and if I'm making a pie for friends, I'll use a deep dish pie crust. But for me, since I'm trying to do less carb, less bread, I have chosen, just a smaller crust as opposed to that thick deep dish pie crust, which is delicious. But with this crust, I'm getting more of the sweet potato and less of the crust. So, if you use a deep dish crust, that's cool. Like I said, I'm used to using those. But, nowadays, for myself, when I'm making a sweet potato pie for here, um, I will, use this regular crust. And I also have used a regular crust for friends, and they liked it, but they really like the deep dish crust. And I do too, but like I said, I'm just trying to do a little better. So my yams are boiling, and I've got all my stuff organized. You guys know that I always, have everything organized at the beginning, and this is how I cook. I am very neat and organized. So I'm just gonna let my sweet potatoes boil, and then I'll be back to do this quick and easy sweet potato, better for you, sweet potato pie. So I've got these hot sweet potatoes. I just took them out of the pot, drained them, and unsalted butter. I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of this unsalted butter, and I'm just going to let that melt into my hot sweet potatoes. And I'm just going to let my sweet potatoes cool off before I start adding milk and eggs and all that stuff. But this is, look, the sweet potato, the yams are so tender, I don't even have to use my masher. I mean, they're like so tender. But anyway, this butter is going to melt. I will probably I don't even have to put the top over this for steam. It's just going to melt. So I'm going to let the butter melt. Sweet potatoes are going to cool off. I'm going to give it about 10 minutes. Okay, so I've mashed these yams. Like I said, they were so tender that I really didn't have to, but just so I can make sure I have, no lumps or bumps, just, little small pieces, I still mash. And I know that there's a certain amount of you out there who want to see this getting mashed, anything getting mashed. So, that's good. Let me get this little excess off here. I had a little leftover pumpkin mash. I have a video up for, I don't know if you call it pumpkin casserole, pumpkin smash, pumpkin mash, baked pumpkin, but I have a vid up for that using canned pumpkin. And I had a little bit of that left, so I added, like I may have had maybe a quarter of a cup of that pumpkin smash that's already got the flavor and stuff in it left over in my refrigerator. So I added that so it wouldn't go to waste to my sweet potato mash, because I haven't put any cinnamon, anything in there yet. But so if you see that the color looks, you're like, oh wow, that looks like it's got seasoning, cinnamon in it already. It does, because I added some of my leftover pumpkin smash. But usually I just make this with only, yams. So that's good. I'm going to, let's put this yam to the side. I have 1 egg yolk, 1 egg white, in this bowl. So it's 2 eggs, but it's just 1 yolk and 1 egg white. To that, I'm going to add, I have about a cup of 2% milk. Just going to eyeball a little vanilla flavor. Guys, I have, pure vanilla, but plenty of times I have had to get the, fake vanilla from, Save-A-Lot or something like that. In fact, I have some, the imitation vanilla extract. I have that from Save-A-Lot, but I was able to actually get some pure vanilla. And so I'm going to use that. The pure vanilla is just so much better. But I have used the vanilla extract, the this imitation vanilla extract, and everything still came out okay. But if you have the pure vanilla and you can use it, by all means, please use it. But I'm just going to eyeball maybe almost a tablespoon of vanilla. You know how the old school does when they eyeball things. It's always more than they say. And I'm going to add some pumpkin pie spice, nutmeg, cinnamon. I know you guys, some of you guys don't like cinnamon. Look at that. I'm making a mess, and y'all know I'm going to clean it up. People say, oh, I don't like cinnamon, but that is really what makes the sweet potato pie. I've had sweet potato pie without cinnamon, or the store-bought sweet potato pie, and I'm just like, oh, wow, it just tastes like mashed sweet potatoes with some sugar in it and a crust. So I'm going to beat this, incorporate this, and there's that sweet potato mixture back again with a little of the leftover pumpkin in it. And I'm just going to add that mixture. So, the camera down a little. And keep in mind, the butter, the 2 tablespoons of butter have already, melted in there. So, the butter's in there, seasonings in there, seasonings. So I'm just going to mix this. Okay, I have light brown sugar. You can use, dark brown sugar if you want. So I'm just going to measure out a heaping spoonful of brown sugar. That's all the sugar that I am adding to this pie. The sweet potato is already plenty sweet. I don't add, like cups of sugar and all that. And I also don't like a potato pie. I don't like any pie that's like sickeningly sweet. It kind of ruins it for me, but just gonna mix that. Just gonna mix that. Don't worry about, if it looks, like cake batter when it has little teeny pieces in it that look like lumps. Don't worry about that, because once this bakes, it's going to all work out. If you want, if you kind of feel kind of paranoid about not seeing the, oh, that's my cake. Hold on. All right, family. Sorry about that. Baking a cake for a friend's birthday. They want a yellow cake with chocolate buttercream icing. So I'm always doing like, a couple of things at once. And I'm also going to be doing some cabbage and some meatballs after I do this. But anyway, this is the consistency that I want. Some people do it thinner. Some people do it thicker. I like it kind of to be in between, kind of custardy. So I'm going to add this filling to my pie crust. And this is going to make a piece of pie, sweet potato pie, that has so much sweet potato, but I might have to take a little out. So much sweet potato, but not a ton of crust. And the crust is one of the best parts. But like I said, I'm just trying to do a little less. Less like crust and all that. So I had a little excess. Let's see. A little more off. Okay, that should be good. I like my pie to look a little rustic. It doesn't have to look perfect. And by rustic, I mean, like this. So. All right, so I'm just going to clean up the edges. And it doesn't matter if a little of the, sweet potato is on the edge of the crust. I mean, nobody's going to die from that. So, all right, I cleaned that up a bit. And, where's my spoon? I'm just going to smooth that a little better, a little more. Because I do like it to look pretty, even if it is looking rustic. Okay, that's good for me. I have a little excess yam mixture, and guess what? I'm going to take it and put it in a little pan and bake it and have like sweet potato mash with the extra. But this is good for me. I know I need to stop messing with it, right? All right, this is about to go into my, I hate that. Look, see that little piece? All right. So there's my pie. It is ready for my 350-degree oven. My oven is preheated, and I'm going to do 45 minutes because my crust is so thin. So I'm going to check it at 45 minutes, but that should be pretty good. I'm going to pop this right into the oven. Hey family, there's my pie out of the oven. I took a little brush and drizzled a little bit of butter on the top, just a little bit. You see it glistening? And I also sprinkled just a little bit more cinnamon and pumpkin pie spice on the top. It smells so good in here. I also use the leftover sweet potato mixture from the pie, and I added some raisins and some spices, some of the nutmeg, and I just did like a little sweet potato, small little casserole, a little bit of whipped sweet potatoes with raisins, and I baked it. So, that can have that, anytime with dinner or as a dessert or whatever. But I'm going to let my pie cool off. And, oh, that looks so sexy. And the fact that it is lower in fat, I use 2 tablespoons of butter. I use 1 egg yolk and 1 egg white. I only used about the equivalent of maybe 3 tablespoons of sugar, 3 heaping tablespoons of sugar that were in like 1 big heaping spoon. And I used a cup of 2% milk. So, are the pies that have the whole milk and all the butter and stuff richer? And I mean, they're heavenly. But, I'm just trying to do it a little better for myself so that when I do eat treats, what's going into my body is a little healthier than what, I've been used to growing up. So, nothing can be better than those types of pies. But, if you're trying to do a little better, this is a good alternative. And you can also do this with pumpkin, make a pumpkin pie like this too. So I'm going to let this cool off, and I'll be back.
that helps people that want to do nice things for people at Christmas